Have you ever stopped and wondered how many times you were respected just for being kind? Probably not that often. In fact, the more you try to please people, the less they seem to value you. You stay quiet, thinking your silence will be appreciated, but it's not. You keep showing up, bending over backward, hoping someone will finally say, "Hey, I see you, I appreciate you." But they don't, and yet you keep trying, like your worth depends on it, on how much you sacrifice, how much you give, how much you stay quiet. But let me ask you this. When was the last time someone truly saw you without you having to fall apart first? Think about that. Because the problem isn't the world. It's that somewhere along the way, you started confusing being good with being useful, being kind with being convenient. You were taught that being a good person is enough. But what if I told you that this whole idea of being good, it's the most dangerous lie you were ever sold? Because it keeps you trapped in a life where you give and give and give, and die a little more inside every day. Respect doesn't come from being nice. It comes from having boundaries, from not being afraid of making people uncomfortable. Ask yourself, do you really want to be good? Or are you just terrified of being disliked? Are you scared of being called selfish or cold or difficult? Because that fear is running your life. That fear is dictating your worth. Who told you that your value depends on how others see you? Who benefits when you bite your tongue? Who gains when you downplay your needs just to keep the peace? You clean up everyone's mess, but who's cleaning up yours? You carry people, but when you fall, who carries you? They trained you to feel guilty when you draw the line. They made you ashamed for saying no. They told you anger is dangerous when actually, it's your compass. Now you walk around smiling for the world while your soul is cracking underneath. You function, you perform, you stay manageable, but you're not living. You're just surviving. And maybe, just maybe, the most honest thing you could do right now is to stop trying to be good. You know, Machiavelli was hated, not because he was wrong, but because he said things nobody wanted to admit. He said being loved is nice, but being feared is safer. And I get it. That sounds harsh. Especially if you were raised to believe that kindness would save you, that politeness would win hearts, that doing the right thing would always be enough. But it wasn't, was it? The world doesn't reward people who burn themselves out for others. It rewards those who know when to say enough. It rewards people who assert themselves, not those who sacrifice themselves. And here's what stings the most. Machiavelli wasn't talking about being cruel. He was talking about power, the kind of power that comes from being unshakable, from being able to make hard decisions, from not flinching when someone doesn't like you. Because if you're constantly afraid of upsetting others, you'll never get to live your own damn life. But real power? It's not about control. It's not about walking over people. It's about finally breaking free from that desperate need to be liked. It's looking someone in the eye and saying, "This doesn't work for me. This is my boundary." Even if your voice shakes, even if you cry later, that's power too. That's what dignity looks like. The world doesn't need more people who smile while they're breaking. It needs people who are real, who are raw, who are honest enough to say, "I'm not okay with this." Since you were a kid, they told you that being good would protect you, that if you were polite, people would love you, that if you followed the rules, good things would come your way. But what happened? Did those promises come true? Or did people take advantage of your silence, your kindness, your willingness to always say yes? You were told love is something you have to earn, that smiles open doors. But most of the time, those smiles just led to walls. So now you're here, still waiting for the world to recognize your efforts, still hoping that if you just keep being good, someone will finally give you what you've been waiting for. But the truth, the world doesn't owe you a damn thing. It never did. The lessons you were taught as a child didn't make you strong. They made you compliant, easy to use. You became the one who always gives, even when you have nothing left. The one who smiles through the pain, who says, "I'm fine," when you're falling apart. And the worst part? You believed that made you good. But being the good one never made you stronger. It made you predictable. It made you easy to control. You put everyone else's needs above your own, and in the process, you disappeared. You forgot you mattered too. And let's be real, people don't respect you for being good. They use you. You show the slightest bit of vulnerability, and suddenly, you're dismissed. You try to please, and it backfires. Being good doesn't equal being respected. It often just makes you easy to take for granted. Because what's always available loses its value. That's just how people work. The more you give, the more they expect, the more they take, and eventually, you're drained, empty, invisible. But what if I told you that your true value lies in your scarcity, in being harder to reach, in saying no, in making people work for your time, your energy, your presence? That's when they start paying attention. That's when they start to respect you. People don't value what's free. They value what's rare. So, when you stop making yourself available to everyone all the time, that's when you begin to shine. That's when your worth finally becomes visible. Look around. How many times have you seen cold, distant people rise to the top, while you, the nice one, get left behind? That's not random. It's because the world doesn't reward blind kindness. It rewards presence, awareness, strategy, emotional intelligence. Machiavelli wasn't trying to turn you into a villain. He was trying to wake you up. A leader, a real one, can't always act kindly. It's not about being harsh. It's about being smart. Stop being predictable. Stop trying to be everything for everyone. Start thinking of yourself as a force, a person with value, a person with power. This doesn't mean you have to change who you are. It means you stop being naive. It means you stop playing a role that only makes other people comfortable. Machiavelli never said you had to hurt others. He said you had to protect yourself, that you had to learn how to move with intent. And in today's world, that means this: speak less, observe more. Let people reveal themselves before you give them your heart, your time, your trust. Be kind to those who've earned it, not to everyone who shows up. Your energy is limited. Your presence is valuable. Not everyone deserves access to you. That's not cold. That's self-respect. That's self-awareness. That's strategy. Because you can't help the world, can't support the people you care about, if you don't know how to protect yourself first. Machiavelli wasn't telling you to lie. He was telling you to watch, to think, to choose your actions from strength, not from fear. So ask yourself, do you want to be loved or do you want to be free? Because you won't always get both. Being loved often means staying in line, smiling when you don't feel like it, playing by rules you didn't write, being silent when your heart is screaming. It can be a beautiful cage, one decorated with approval and validation, but a cage nonetheless. But freedom? Freedom costs something. It means not everyone will like you. It means you'll disappoint people. People who only accepted the version of you that kept them comfortable. You'll break their expectations. You'll stop fitting in. But that's not a loss. It's a cleansing. Because what comes after is hard, but real. You'll start speaking your mind without apologizing. You'll stop justifying your choices. You'll stop explaining why your boundaries exist. You'll choose respect, even if it costs you affection. And that's the beginning of real power. The truth is, being nice didn't make you powerful. It made you a puppet. Being good didn't protect you. It made you silent. It made you scared. It turned you into someone who needed permission just to live. But the truth is your key out. It hurts, yes, but it's the only thing that sets you free. When you finally stop living to be accepted, when you stop shaping yourself to match what others expect, you meet your real self for the first time. And that person is strong. That person is grounded. And people will notice. Some will call you arrogant. Others will say you've changed. Some will label you a threat. And they're right. You are a threat to the game, to the control, to the version of you that was easy to manipulate. Freedom isn't easy, but the cost of staying a prisoner to the idea of being good is so much worse. Because now, you know what it really means to be a prince. It's not about being liked. It's not about being feared. It's about knowing what's worth your time, your energy, your presence, and taking it without guilt, without asking. Because true power isn't handed to you. It's claimed.